Hi guys, it's Miss Lovelady. Today we're going to talk about um, supply options a beginner garden can use. I do know that it's a lot of videos out there that has content or on how to. Well, I'm in zone AB, and I'm not going to say we have totally different options, but we doesn't have a lot of people that's doing videos for beginner gardeners or just gardeners that's in my zone. So I wanted to add to what's out there already. And in this video, we're going to talk about supplies. We're going to talk about trial and error. So just stay with me. I want to try to do it all at one time. So if you want to know, get your pen, your paper, and make notes because you don't want to forget anything, or you want to at least have the option, where you don't have to always just go back and rewind the video. And it's okay if you choose to rewind the video. And before we get started, won't you go ahead on and hit that like button, subscribe, and share the video. Let's get started. So first, as a beginner gardening, one of the things that I learned through my year of gardening was a heating mat. I'm thinking of a heating pad. No, it's not a heating pad. It's a heating mat. So I'm going to show you what a heating mat looks like. First of all, I'm going to show you. I purchased this particular heating mat, and I got mine from Amazon. You do not have to get yours from Amazon. I'm pretty sure it's other people out there, but that's why I got mine. It was an easy option. So when it comes in that box. Mine came with two. It looks like this, and it got a cord. You plug it up, okay, and it rolls. You can wipe it down. So this is what a heating mat looks like. We're going to put this to the side. And my goal is to show you a visual of what everything looked like, because a lot of people will tell you, well, you need this, you need that, and you don't understand what that is because it's just a name. Or even if you search it, you don't sometimes know if you have the right object or the right item, selected. Another thing would be grow lights. One option for a grow light, cheap option, I got a great value kind. It's a plant light. And this particular grow light, I put it in a small lamp, and it shines just like like you would screw a regular light bulb in a lamp. But that particular one is for like one plant. Okay. And if you're just starting out and you might be trying to do only one plant, that will work for you. Another option, they have the long fluorescent lights, and they also have what they call shop lights. And I got my shop lights, some I think they was like $12 or $16, excuse me, I purchased mine from a big box store, Home Depot. Got some shop lights. That was as time went by, and I got 4 fluorescent lights. They call plant grow lights. I got them from Walmart. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. If you can look up here, they shine. Now I know it looks different because they are on. The one in the back is not on. They look like commercial lights. This one here is shining really, really bright. I'm going to see if I move it back if it'll help. So, those are grow lights. Now, Again, you don't have to have grow lights if you have a good south facing window. Um, Sometimes that's just not a lot of light, enough light, and I say that because if you don't have the right amount of light, it's not saying that your seedlings won't grow, but they're going to be tall and stringy. They call it leggy, and they're just not going to do too well. What happens with the grow lights? You can raise it or lower it. You want the light as close as possible to your seedlings in order for them to be strong. Now, excuse me, you don't want the light touching it. Now, this particular light, the grow lights, they really don't burn. I'm pretty sure anything can burn, but you would raise that light as those plants grow, as your seedlings grow. So, but with the natural light, you can't raise that light up and down. Therefore, the seedlings are going to be trying to stretch to the light. Okay, and they're not going to ever touch it, so they're going to keep getting long, 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 but they're not going to be strengthened. The little stem is not going to strengthen up. It's just like a baby. You have to feed it the right way, the right amount of times. And my allergies are so bad that I'm trying to make this video. I so apologize. Okay, we're going to move on. So the first thing, one of the things you will need is a heating mat. The next thing is grow lights. And grow lights are good for when you start your seedlings inside. Your seedlings or your seeds that you put in some seed starting mix or dirt at the beginning in order for them to start growing and sprouting. When they're sprouting, those are called seedlings, okay? Another thing is, let's see, containers. What type of containers do you want to can you start your flowers, your vegetables in? So I'm going to show you a couple of different options. Some things I've used, some things I haven't used yet, but I have them just in case. So let me give you a visual of that. One visual would be, they have what they call these little Jiffy pea pots. And these particular pots here, they come in different sizes. Okay. So you can actually plant these directly in the ground once your seedlings start growing. Now, you will still need to put them, when you plant them in that, you will have to put something under because this particular pot will get wet and start getting soggy. Okay, and it's biodegradable, so it will actually decompose over time in the ground or in your raised bed or whatever. Another kind of pot is, they have these. I got these from the dollar store. $1. I got $4 up in here. So I'll grab me a couple of these. They also come in different sizes. They have them bigger than this here. So these are something I've been using recently. I actually like these. They are reusable if you need to reuse them. If you don't tear them up. These are not biodegradable. You cannot plant them in the ground. So don't do that. Okay. Another option I had. This is just a random bucket. I actually went to one of my little thrift stores and they actually had a big old box they were selling. And I think I paid 19 cents per, I want to say it was like 10 cents, 19 cents, or 8 cents per container. So and I was still fresh into gardening. So I'm thinking like, oh, I need this, I need that, I need this, because you don't really know. You can plant in a whole lot of things, probably almost anything. But you have to make sure that the plastic that you use is good. They have to have a certain number at the bottom This is say PP is 5. So it have to be, I think, like a 2 and above. And if you have 5, that should be good. But certain plastics are not good to use. Okay. So with this is something that you can start your seeds with, or you could just actually use it as a planter. You don't have to have this little hook on it. This came with them. All of them don't have the little holder. But with this, if you plant them in here, you have to turn it over and put holes in them because you need drainage holes. So this is another option. You can find all kind of things to plant in as you begin gardening, as you go through your journey, you will realize, man, I can use this, I can use that. You don't have to spend money if you don't, you don't have to. Some people choose to. As time go by, you'll know what you want to spend money on and what you don't. So for me, especially my first year, I was really trying to be very conservative because first of all, my goal was trying to learn how to garden itself and uh, the process. What would I need? The do's, the don'ts, the trials, and the errors. So I didn't want to focus so much on spending a whole lot of money because gardening can get expensive. Your first year, maybe your first 2 years, it can be it can cost. It just depends on what are you into. If you're only into like getting some flowers, doing maybe a few flowers, you might be okay. But once you get into the really deep into gardening for vegetables and flowers, it can get a little tricky. Like I said, again, it depends on how much you want to garden, or how much you plan on gardening, and how many, what kind of flowers you want to plant, how many flowers, all that is a factor. But back to the containers. Another container this is technically like a bowl. I got it from the dollar store and I put holes in it. So I actually use this here as my, what they call, I put my lettuce in it. They have these here, I don't, these are porcelain pots. I really don't like it. They have a hole in it. I don't like it because it breaks easy. As you can see, it's chipped. I mean, this fell on my carpet and broke, shattered. I have one over there that just shattered. But you can use it. This is something good if you're going to just keep it outside, not going to do a lot of moving. But if it falls, it's going to break. So I try to stay away from this here. I really don't even use them. I got it because it was in a kit. Another thing, and everything I'm showing you is stuff that you can start your seeds out in. The little Dixie cups or medicine cups, water cups. It could be the paper kind, the plastic kind. You can use styrofoam cups. Everybody know what a little plastic paper cup is. You can use that. Long as you put the drainage in it, you're fine. Okay. Then we also have, this is this came with my Jiffy Pots, my Jiffy Peak set. I'm saying my tray. Okay, it wasn't anything in here. So, but they actually break apart. They come, may have 6 in a tray, maybe a long tray. They normally are stuck in one of these here. If you ever seen this at the store, they're stuck in here. And they do break away. If not, you can actually cut them. They have holes in them. You can reuse these here. But everything that you reuse, make sure you're cleaning. Okay? I know it's plants, but you still kind of want to make sure that you're taking care of your plants. No bacteria, extra germs on it. Also, this is like a mini greenhouse for me. This here, they sell them at the store when you buy like maybe chicken salad, or they have like your pico in it, or your little onions, and they got a lid. Now you can actually start stuff in here. A lot of times I put things in here to start. It's like a mini greenhouse. Got a lid. Now if you don't have a lid, and just say you was using this, you can still put this over it and make a mini greenhouse out of it. But it's really easy, stackable, it's reusable. So anything that's reusable, I really like. But I'm learning to slow down because my husband said I have too much So everywhere. And he's right, I really do, but that's what happens again when you first garden. You kind of get excited and you start buying everything, or you think you need everything. So if you get one of the Jiffy starting trays, sometimes they come with just the little inserts, and some you have the ones that come with the little peat pellets. The ones with the peat pellets, once you use the peat pellets, you can reuse the trays if you want to. Rinse them out real good. Keep my trays as long as they're doable. You have Amazon actually sell some. If you don't get like the starter trays, and it comes with a lid. They call it like a mini greenhouse. That's what they call it. So it sits like that, and you use this here to start your seeds out. Put it in there. So we're gonna move on. I think you get an idea of containers, grow lights, mats, heating mats. So now we're gonna discuss. I'm trying to keep it clean as I go because I just cleaned my room up. So now we're gonna talk about seed starter mix. You can use, I would say, any kind of seed starting mix that you feel comfortable with. You feel comfortable with. I'm sorry. I've used the one from the dollar store for $1. It works just as good. For me, it works really good for me. Some people don't like it. Some people do. You will find through gardening, you're gonna find your own niche, what you like, what you don't like, what works for you, what don't works for you. Sometimes it's all in the gardener, okay, and it's all in your area. You will find different ways the seed start mix can come. It can come in a bag, or it can come in a little, what they call like a little brick. Okay, this particular thing is cocoa core. This is like my soil. They also have a cocoa core seed starting mix as well. So I do have that, but that's outside, and I didn't want to go out. I'm sorry, but it looks exactly like that. Just a single. That particular one I have is just a single brick though. Also, um, if you don't have seed starting mix, I would say you can use just regular soil. So I'm sorry, my phone is ringing. Let me get this. Okay, I'm back. So let's see if I can retract myself. Um, yes, you can use, well, average person will say dirt, but as you become a gardener, you'll kind of get used to saying soil. It's not a technicality. It's not a right and wrong way to say dirt, But if you feel comfortable saying dirt, it's dirt. If you want to say soil, it's soil. You will hear me say all of it. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, so another thing, kind of know, like, I would say, since we're talking about dirt or soil, kind of know if you're gonna plant your stuff in the ground, like dig your dirt up outside and put your vegetables in that dirt, or are you gonna kind of like have what they call a raised bed, meaning you're not gonna be digging in the dirt. You're just gonna actually build it like a bed, a square bed, and put your stuff in. Or you're gonna have what they call an elevated bed that's standing up. They consider it a raised bed. It's on legs and it's not nothing on the ground. Or are you going to use what they call containers? Containers could be anything. It could be like the white bucket I showed you. It can be like this grow bag. It could be a Walmart bag. The one reusable bag, the ones you buy. I've used baskets without the holes in it. I put some holes at the bottom, the solid like baskets. You can use pretty much what you want. You can use hospital pans, the ones you get when you go to the hospital. You can use a water can if you choose to. Cut it off or cut the handles off and use the middle. However you want. A milk jug. People use anything and everything as long as it's food gradable. Okay? But what scale of gardening are you going to do? Be mindful, gardening at the beginning, it's a little scary if you've never done it before. So you want to start off slow. I would say that. I've had a lot of trials and errors, which I knew I was going to have because I was being hard-headed, like, I got this here, I'm going to do this here myself. But I kind of got spanked by a lot of failures and brought it back down to earth. So, okay, we're talking about grow lights, heating mats, containers that you're going to store everything in, your seed starting mix. Next, we're going to talk about labeling. You have to know what you're planting. If not, you're going to be like, because you have to know how long it's supposed to, take for it to be ready. So you only know that if you know what you're planting. So these are labels. They look like little sticks, little plastic sticks. You can use popsicle sticks. You can use paper plastic forks. You can break it off and right on the stem of it, the handle of it. You can use paper plastic spoons. You can use whatever you need to label what you have. You can use if you're doing what did I just do with it? Oh, in my face. So just like this one, I've actually labeled this lemon balm. I use tape and some paper. If you have to write on it, that's fine. But you need to know what you planted. Okay? That's what the labels are for. Then also, what kind of seeds are you planting? Are you planting collard greens? What variety of collard greens are you planting? Are you planting tomatoes? What variety are you planting? You need to know that because you need to know how long do it take for that variety to be ready to harvest. Okay, when is a good time for it to be outside? Do I direct sow it? Do I plant it start out outside, or do I may need to start it inside before I take it outside? So you have to know that. When you hear those words, starting inside, then taking it outside, you may hear the word transplanting. That means I started it inside, now I'm going to get it outside to get ready to plant outside. That's what transplanting means. Okay? Another thing, when you're ready to plant outside, things that you can use to plant outside, to put in your soil. So these are some things you need to do if you're going to get your ground ready. If you're going natural, you're just going to just go for it. If you know how your soil is, say whatever, I'm going to use what I got. So if you go in the ground and just say that's what I'm going to use, I'm not going to buy nothing, then hey, I don't know. It may work. I mean, a lot of things grow on its own in the ground. So hey, but if you're going to plant it in like a raised bed, you're going to build your own little box, cute little box or whatever, or your container. Know the kind of soil. If it's a container, know if you're going to use container soil or raised bed soil or just regular soil. Know that. Kind of start pricing and see like, that's what I would do. Now, everything I'm telling you what the mistakes I made that I didn't have to make. Some of the mistakes I didn't make. Some things I did make a mistake because I was trying to be hard-headed. So, we're going to go to, let's see. So, for the soil, this is always a touchy situation for me. Well, for some people, I use whatever soil that's cheap. I'm sorry. Some people, I can't use this soil because this. I can't use this soil because it's that. I don't use the dirt outside, the natural dirt, but I will use if I go to one of the big box stores and they have some dirt, some soil for like $1.50. It may be that somebody else's least favorite, but it may be my favorite. It's my money, my pocket favorite. Okay. If I run across something, I see something for $2, and hey, I'm getting it because soil can get expensive. You have to kind of, like I said at the beginning, you have to budget yourself and kind of take it slow and know what you want to do. What can you do it? Or because your head will get. Mine did. I was so excited. I was so happy. Anything that said gardening, I wanted it. So, soil. It doesn't, for me, it wasn't about how much it costs. Honestly, I wanted the cheapest thing I could find. That was me. If it was $6 was a lot for me. I have paid as high as $9. And I say as high. I have not went over $9. And if I did spend $9, it was maybe one time. I'm just saying. Okay. When you get your soil or when you have soil, it's a few things that is suggested that you have to possibly put in it. Now, again, these are always options, suggestions. We forget that nature, back in the olden days, people didn't have all this extra stuff to put in their soil. They used whatever the ground had. They might have had one or two remedies that they cooked up, but nowadays there's so many things that you put in your axe, or you're suggested to put in your soil, and I have bought those things. I don't use it all the time, but I do have it, and I'm going to show you how they look. So one of them is excuse me, because this might be outside, but I'm going to pull this box over here because I do have everything that's inside right here because I want to make sure I showed you. Oh Lord, this box kind of heavy. Uh-oh. What I got in this box? Okay, so I'm just going to pull. Okay, so we got what they call first fertilizer. This is my favorite fertilizer. You see, it's 551. When they start talking about numbers, those numbers be written across something somewhere on your product. I really like this. This is the main fertilizer that I use. I will use that more than anything else. Number 2, I use bone meal. Bone meal is really, really good. It help, it really helps for like during the winter. I hope you can see it. Pretty good. Yeah. Now, it do not have to be this particular brand. They do have a different variety of brands. I get, again, what's reasonable, what I can afford, and it do last a long time unless you're really, really heavy on it, unless you have a big old acres of land that you're farming on. Another thing that I use, I don't think this one is open. Sometimes I will use lime. This is good for a whole lot of things, Plants is good. It helps put acid, available to say lime increase availability of phosphorus. I can't say that M word, but I'm just saying it's good for flowers, vegetables, shrubs, lawn, potted plants. But it do give you all the benefits back here. I do use lime. That also comes by different people. I'm not advertising for high yield. You'll see I have a variety of different things. Another thing I use is peat moss. I mix it up. This is by Miracle-Gro. I'm not advertising for them. I'm not in contract with them. But I do like to mix it. I don't actually use the whole thing. I actually just, I use so much of it when I'm blending my soil together. I might put a whole, just like you cooking, seasoning your chicken. You seasoning your dirt, your soil. So that's what all this is for. You kind of like, you're putting it in there, adding it. And you will hear the word amendment, okay? Or amend your garden, your soil. So that's one of the things. Another thing is vermiculites. You will hear that word. I kept saying, what the what? So I've learned a lot of different things I didn't know. This is good to help, aerate your soil. Keep your soil from clunking together and squeezing together. Help it drain good. Sulfur. I actually use this here sometime. Again, this, this here is like, I don't use it. Sometimes I might put it around certain things, but sometimes I do, it's like, if I'm out of something, this may be something I use. My stuff lasts me a long time. I don't just sit there and just dump it on anything, okay? So, it'll tell you how to use it. I haven't used this yet, but I've actually had some problems with snails. So, I'm going to try this. It says garden safe, which, again, I'm not a spokesperson for neither one of these things. Something new that I've actually been using, which I guess you could say I'm seeing a little difference. Oh, cow. They call it black cow, but it's compost. Okay, compost is kind of like I'm gonna say use the word special soil, special ingredient. It's like cow buki, cow poop. Okay, but it's mixed and it's really really good to help enrich, fertilize uh, your soil. Okay, it's like the good stuff. I would say that. But I'm also learning about different types of compost or different types of manures. So another one that I've started using is chicken manure. I've actually like it. You don't have to use a lot of it. Okay. Sprinkle. And I have not opened this one, but I've actually bought my first thing of rabbit manure, rabbit fertilizer, manure fertilizer. Okay. And I hear great things about that. Now, I bought it because at the time I had the available funds, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna try it. It's something new." But I do hear really, really good reviews over that. Another thing, you want to have your watering can. Okay. True enough, you don't have to have that. Watering cans is, you have to have a source of how you're gonna water your plants, your flowers, your food, whatever. So a water can always is good. Actually, a water hose. Know your water system. Do you have a water hose hookup outside? Because you're gonna have to water your plants. Now, on rainy days, you're good because Mother Nature did its thing. But you have to take consideration of, you know, the amount of times you may have to water. You don't. I'm not saying you have to water every day. It just depends on the weather. It depends on what you're planting. What are you growing? It's a lot of factors that determine it. Once you go through the process of knowing what you're going to plant, it'll let you know how often you need to plant it. But it's very important to know how your water system is hooked up, as far as do you have available water of an available water source. Okay. Um, I ran into that. I'm still working on that. So you just have to kind of know ahead of time. Again, these are things that some of the things I bumped my head on. So now, as you go back and look at some of the videos I'm posting now or posted before, you will see the trouble I've had with watering things, or what I'm having to create to assist me with watering things. Okay. Another thing is, have your little rake. It comes, if you get a little kit, it comes with probably these two. Um, it come with, I got this one. You can also get this kind of stuff from the dollar store. I say the dollar store a lot because I told you. And this here, I like this. I really don't know what this is for. The name of it. But what I use it for is, sometimes I use it if I'm gonna put a hole. If I'm gonna direct sew something, I use it to put a hole. Now it may be supposed to be used for something else, but I use it. That's what I use it for. Excuse me, my allergy. I have also a bucket. When I'm inside, this is what I use to put my seed starting mix, potting mix up in here. Now you have what they call seed starting mix. You have potting mix. I've used both of them. I use what I have. Okay. So this is what I use to, when I'm inside, I kind of pre-mix some stuff in. One thing I didn't talk about, and I thought I had it in here, but I don't, is neem oil. It's two things. That's the only thing I use on my plants, and I really don't use it that much. I'm pretty much what you consider a totally organic gardener. Um, I do lose plants because bugs do eat on my plants, and I don't always have time to go out there and do what I want to do. So you kind of have to know what kind of time you have, to pay attention to what you're growing. So you kind of have to be mindful of that. Don't overdo, especially at the beginning. Find you one or two things that you really want to plant, but make sure it's something you eat. That is one of the most important things I tell anyone. If you don't eat it, don't plant it. Now, if you decide you want to experiment one day and try it because you want to see if you like it, I'm not going to tell you necessarily to grow it first, but if that's the only option you have, then plant one of that particular thing. Don't plant a variety of things that you just want to try and you know you don't eat it. Try that one thing a season, and then go from there. Because if you don't like it, then you didn't waste it. And don't ever plant something banking on what someone else say they like or they want. If they're not there putting in the work in your garden or live in your home, and you know that they're going to eat it, then I wouldn't plant it. Now, I'm not going to tell you if they're going to give you income for planting something for them. I can't tell you what to do. That's a decision you have to make. But if you knew, focus on learning the things that you need to know about gardening first, and then go from there. If they want you to experiment with something, tell them to experiment with it. Hey, you're learning yourself. So I another thing that I have, like a big old thermometer, not thermometer dropper, right? I got this again from the dollar store. And you notice I haven't said which dollar store, but because they sell them anywhere. But I use that when I'm inside and I need to water my seedlings, so the water doesn't splash. You don't want your seedlings to be splashed everywhere. Sometimes I have gotten better with just watering at the bottom, but if they're in a container that I can't do that with, I take my little water thing and fill it up, and I gently drop the water around it so it don't be splashing all over the leaves. Okay, you don't have to have this. I chose to have this. I seen it on a video from someone else. I thought it was a neat idea, so I got it, and I actually love it. That process. I tell everybody I feed twine. Twine is when you know you're gonna grow. Like if you're growing tomatoes or maybe beans starting out, you're gonna have to eventually tie them up, support them. So it's good to have that on deck. Yarn without dye or something that you can use. It may seem like unnecessary, but you'll know once you start growing. I mean, it's necessary. Have your little box. I got a box. I'm not going to try to neatly put everything back in it, but have an organized system. It would, trust me, you will clutter yourself, then you would declutter yourself. You would clutter yourself, you would declutter yourself. It's just the process of gardening. Have I don't have a big space. Now where I'm at this moment talking to you, this is my gardening room. It's just a small room. I think this may be it may be an 8 by 8, it may be a 10 by 10, 10 by whatever. It's not a big room. So, but this is where I start my seeds at. You don't have to have the perfect setup, but have a place designated for when you start your seeds, because they have to be put somewhere until they're ready to go outside. Though the things that need to be started earlier before going outside. Okay, so for me, I've got me a shelf from Walmart. And it took me a minute to get it. I used everything I could at first, and I decided, so you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead on and get this shelf. I got the shelf. I was able to put my lights under there, organize it better. So now I have a one, two, three, four tiers that I use to put my seedlings on, and I'm loving it. It works very well. Okay, but that's me. I didn't get it at the beginning because it took me a little time. So we're going to get ready to wrap this video up, but I want to make sure that we talk about everything. The last, two more things, and then we're going to go. One of the things is, if you're going to, when you're in your raised bed, if you're going to use raised bed, actually it's more than two things. I'm sorry. This video is just, I'm trying to be as in detail as I can, guys. And this is me. So I get long-winded, but I feel like this was necessary for this particular video. Okay. Weed barrier fabric or landscaping fabric. Is something you will need if you're going to have a raised bed. Some people use it when they're doing certain things in ground. Don't get me on that, because I'm not one of them big gardeners that use it. So, and it's a different type of material. I hope that makes sense. But this is something you would use in your raised bed. Okay, you will line it up, then you put your soil and stuff on it. Okay, if not, your soil gonna fall through. If you're doing a container, you don't really need that. But if you would need it in a container if that container is like one of those things with a lot of holes in it, big holes. Yeah, because you're gonna have to. If not, your soil is gonna fall out everywhere. Okay, and this is my little basket. I actually had this laying around the house, and I just started using it this week. This, you're going to need you some snippers. I call it garden snippers. Dollar store. You may can get something in a complete set. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Amazon have a whole thing. These are garden shears. I use these here to prune and trim. So you will find that you don't want to just, and the reason you will use those things, you don't want to just break something off all the time. It's some things that will gently come off. Some things you actually have to snip and cut off. You can't just be breaking it. You're going to ruin your plants, okay? But I use this here now when I harvest. This, when I know it's just something small, I use this here. You may have a nice, beautiful basket that they sell. It's your money. You do it the way you want to do it. I'm telling you, budget shop, especially at the beginning when you're learning to grow. Okay, if you know you want like raised beds and all that stuff, I'm just saying, in my opinion, if you don't have help, that's something you want to either go ahead and order and get it to your location. even if you're on a patio, actual elevated raised bed garden planter box will work good for someone that's on a patio. You don't have to have a lot of stuff just circling around your patio. It will do very good. You because it's up, and then you can still have room for things at the bottom. Okay, um, that's another video I will show, or you can go back and look at some of my other videos, and you can see what I'm talking about when I say raised garden beds, elevated garden beds. It's a difference. Elevated is like it's on legs and it's standing up. A regular raised garden bed is on the ground, but it's not. You're not digging in the ground. You're laying all your dirt on top of the ground. It's like an open box. Some people do close their boxes, and they still consider raised garden beds. The difference is you're not digging in the dirt. That's what a raised garden bed is. Everything's just being laid across the dirt you have. But an elevated garden bed is on legs like a table. Okay. And the last thing that we're going to talk about, and I hope I didn't forget anything. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment box below, or you can always find me on Facebook. I think I link, if not, I'll leave my Facebook link down here. But you can always leave a comment and I'll respond back. Now, this is something new. It's like my prize to myself after being gardening a year. I used to use like a little shoebox, a clear shoebox from the dollar store, a little Tupperware box. But I actually graduated, guys, and spent the money and bought me this little box here. And this comes from Walmart, so it's looked like this. It wasn't that much, but I was being too cheap. But I actually got it this time. So, your seeds. Know what you want. On any seed that it says random flowers. Now, I wrote on them. I'm going to eventually label them. But hey, I got to graduate to that. So, I'm going to show you. These are my random flowers. So, these are some that if I say, okay, well, I want something different. These are just some dollar store, some cheap, $2 for $1 flowers. These are wildflower mix. Cut flowers. Seed mixture. These are, what is this? Flower garden. These by I think these are what, All American Seeds. Then I have some Cole's. I've never planted these. These are 50-cent seeds. These are by All American Seeds, and these both of them All American Seeds. These are burpees, some bachelor buttons. You will get a lot of people ask that question. Well, who do you order your seeds from? I'm one of those ones. I have never ordered seeds online. A lot of people do, and a lot of people do that because it's certain seeds that it's hard to find at the store. Some people just prefer that. Some people don't want to go to the store and look for seeds. They just rather go and order them and be done with it. But to be honest, I've had success with every variety of seeds brand that I bought. So it's up to you. I hate to keep saying it. I'm on a budget. It seemed like I have a lot of stuff, but it took me a while before I started actually purchasing certain things. I wanted to make sure it was something I needed when I was ready to try it. I didn't just try everything at once. Now, if you do want to get certain things prepared, you can always, rewind this video or pause as I'm saying certain things, certain ingredients, and write it down. Before you initiate the gardening process, go ahead and buy you a small supply of these different things. Put them to the side. You may need them, you may not. Everybody's different. You don't have to have everything. I have it kind of like a just in case most of the time. But everything that I've purchased, I have actually tried, except from the rabbit manure, because I just bought it, just ordered that, and it just came in. I got that at the beginning of June, and I just never used it yet. And I knew I'd been working on projects. And matter of fact, check one of my videos out. You can see the project that I'm working on, building my own boxes. So I've been trying. I do the kiddie poos, do the container garden. Bugs. You are going to see bugs. I am freaked out behind bugs, but I said I am determined, and I'm not going to let that keep me from gardening. Now, I have not got friendly with the bugs, but I know better, so I kind of expect certain things. So I kind of play it by ear, play it by sight. Certain bugs don't freak me out as much. That don't mean I just touch them and play with them. But I think I kind of give them their space. As long as they don't jump on me, we good. I'm scared of bugs, okay? That haven't changed. But don't let that be a reason that you don't want to garden. Some bugs that you will find is beneficial for your garden, and some bugs are just, oh, they're evil. Okay, you're going to learn that too. Again, it's ways to protect your garden with special netting. I haven't put a lot of effort into that. A lot of people have, because again, they did their trial and error, and they say, hey, I'm not going to keep losing my food. So again, like I say, you will learn a lot as you go. You don't be scared to fail. You will fail. You're going to fail at something that's not going to grow right. But when it happens, just start over. It's okay. It's not the last thing in the world. Just start over. It's a process. So just know that these are some of the options, not must-haves, but options you need as a beginner garden that you should consider as a beginner garden. If it's, like I say, if I could have left something out, but I'm just making it over my year mark as a gardener. I still consider myself a beginner's gardener, but I've learned a lot, and I will say I have eaten out of my garden, and as many people have. And I'm again, I love it. My garden is my peace, and I learned when I put my heart in it, my love in it, that's what I get out. So, Love Ladies Garden Projects and more, it's all about love. Thank you for watching. I hope this video really helped a new gardener. Again, if you have any questions, I always use my hand, so y'all, I'm sorry. But if you have any questions, leave them in the comment box down below. Don't forget to subscribe. Like this video, hate this video. It's up to you. And I look forward to having more dialogue with you. So, more videos are coming soon. Again, until then, peace, love, and happiness.